You scored!
Hi guys, welcome back to the Charming Analysis podcast. I'm Mari.
I'm Jay.
And oh boy, it's been a little bit. So today we are going to be talking about La La Land. Right, honey?
Yes.
So why don't you explain what La La Land is for those who don't know? You sleepyhead.
Yeah, very, very sleepy. The weather does not help.
It fucking snowed, recently, so we're just inside in some comfy blankies while we do this.
Yes.
Right, honey?
Yes.
Alright, so anyway, why don't you explain what La La Land is?
La La Land is about two people in Hollywood that are trying to make it. One is trying to be a professional jazz pianist, and another is trying to be an actress. And they meet up and, I guess, fall in love and try to pursue their dreams together. So it seems like. I feel like the only reason that this got nominated for Best Picture is because they like to jerk off the executives saying, "Hey, look how much we like Hollywood. It's filmed about Hollywood. Doesn't Hollywood love Hollywood?" I'm like, okay.
Okay, so I guess, what did you think of La La Land? Because I thought it was interesting. I still can't believe this came out almost 10 years ago at this point. When did this come out?
I think the end of 2024, around there.
End of 2024?
Or end of 2014, sorry.
End of 2014, damn.
Sorry.
That's crazy.
I don't know. I know it came out around that year, I think. Or was it 2016?
I can look it up. Let me look
I don't remember when it came out. I remember it. I just remember because I think it got snubbed that one year because
2016.
Oh, okay. I thought it was 2014. Okay. Well, I was wrong. So dummy me.
Dummy bean.
Yes, dummy bean.
It's okay.
There's things that I like, but there's also things that kept on reminding me of better movies that have done the exact same thing. Like the struggling artist and stuff like that. I think people have done it a lot better with way better commentary, and I just don't think that the romance is there. This is part romantic movie. I just don't think that there's no chemistry in forming this romance at all between Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. And I cared more about Ryan Gosling and him trying to figure out how to play to a new world with such an old style of music than Emma Watson trying to find her acting career. I cared more about that. And I just did not believe their romance at all. Maybe I'm just sick and tired of a romance not forming when it's
Obviously not there.
Not there or not needed. I don't know. I don't know. I'm more like old Hollywood when it's trying to be genuinely old Hollywood than actually trying to relive old Hollywood. If I wanted to relive old Hollywood, I would literally just go back and watch those old school musicals that they used to do.
Honestly, yeah. Personally for me, I didn't mind it. I thought it was an interesting movie. Mm-hmm. I liked the way that they did colors in this movie. There was a lot of pops of color in this, and honestly, it was beautiful to watch. Watching them, film this. And, I liked the music in it as well.
Set direction, costume direction, lighting direction. I think it was all great. I just did not find, the camera work to be, good around those, the camera work to be good with anything. It was either like still shots, like,
or just like random scenes, like random like sections. Like they like would they moved with the people way too much for some scenes. I will say that. Like the example when both the leads are trying to get into one car. The female lead doesn't want to get in the car, like doesn't want him to get in the car with her, and like the camera guy's just following them around and around and around and around, kind of shit. You okay?
Yeah.
And then like when she gets in the car, then the stuff stops. But they just kept following and following. All they should have done, in my opinion, was just like stayed on one certain angle for that. I feel like that could have been done without going around and around and around and around. You know what I'm trying to say? Jay.
Yeah.
You're trying to make it so I don't drink your drink anymore.
Yes, I am. You keep drinking my drink, and I'm just like, we can get this drink that you don't drink.
I'm sorry, I can't help it. It's delicious.
It's delicious. We'll go get more.
I'll get more later. Anyway. But yeah, they could have done some of the shots a little bit better, but whatever shots they did do were interesting, in my opinion. Get your face out of the blanket.
No.
Oh my goodness. So I know you don't like the dynamic of the leads. Can you give us some reasons as to why?
I just didn't feel their chemistry, and I just hate when romances start like with nothing there. Like I don't believe that a romance ever starts with somebody like I just don't believe that romances start with somebody like despising one another or trying to bring some level of like ignorance toward one another. I don't believe that's how romances work at all. And like still playing this up in any movie now is just non-existent to me. I'm just like, okay, then I guess I won't treat this romance as seriously as you want me to because that's how it started. Like, I don't know. And as the film went on, I just didn't like care. I just didn't care about their little romance. I cared more about like, you know, Ryan Gosling actually making it into this world than I did ever care about Emma Watson. Like,
which is surprising, honestly.
Or not Emma Watson, Emma Stone. If I kept saying Emma Watson, I'm sorry. It's Emma Stone. Get that through your skull, Jake.
But yeah, like, I don't mind this movie. I feel like there is some stuff that they could have done a bit better. Like with like, I will agree with you. The chemistry isn't really there in some scenes. Some scenes you can kind of tell, and then there's some scenes where it's like, why did they say these two liked each other? They act like they don't like each other. Why would they do that? Kind of thing. What are you doing?
I don't know. I'm like doing things over here.
He's being a butt while we're recording this,
yes,
like always.
I am.
Like always. My goodness.
I always am.
Why you like this?
I should record like this from now on.
Jay, no.
Please.
No.
Let me record like this.
You're literally talking into a toilet paper tube.
I don't care.
Oh my gosh. So I guess, what did you think of, I guess, like, okay, I need to word this better. What did you think about the idea of them filming it from winter, like, through the seasons back to winter again? Because I kind of liked that.
What was the point? Why couldn't you just let time pass?
Like normally.
They did. They
did, but why did you have to, like, announce it? I guess I don't get that.
It's probably just to show, like, chapters in a sense.
Chapters in a person's life, but, like...
Some of the chapters weren't necessary, because you could kind of tell in the where they're at, like, hey, this is this time, this is this time. Kind of shit.
I just wasn't impressed by this movie. I just wasn't impressed.
You feel like it was overhyped?
Yeah, but I guess the Oscars are all about overhyping anyway. Like, that's why I just don't watch the Oscars anymore. I just, like, I literally find movies that I think are going to be interesting, and we watch them. And, like, some of them are good, some of them are bad. I try to look for good movies. to be completely honest. I try to look for movies that other people have recommended that have been praised, not just by like critics, but by just
audiences
people like that watch movies, and like also just random people that just watch movies for fun, and just because they're interested in them. Like, why would I wouldn't want to go find something. I wouldn't want to just go find something that's critically approved, because half the time critics approve crap. I'm gonna say it. Half the times critics just approve crap because it speaks to like the business that they're in, and I don't find that interesting.
Do you think the theory is they liked this movie because Hollywood was mentioned?
Yes, that's literally, if Hollywood is mentioned anywhere in your movie, you're getting an Oscar. You're getting Oscar nom.
I feel like that should be a meme. Like, critics
That's
watching
already
movie.
been a meme since like the 50s. Like,
No, I mean like critic watching movie. Movie says Hollywood. Critics go, yay!
critics shit themselves because it's talking about them. I'm like, oh my god, what nuance.
Oh my
I'm like,
gosh.
okay, that's what gets
so
the panties in a twist, I guess.
Okay, so we know that you don't click with this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So what is some stuff you actually like about this movie? Let's go to that.
I like I mentioned before, I like the color direction. I like the stage setting.
Okay.
Trying to think.
Do you have any more?
Some of the instrumentals were really nice, really nicely composed. Though I think, like, I kept hearing it, and I'm just like, maybe because it's the same instrument, but something like was telling me, ooh, that kind of reminds me a little bit of the tempo from like the Whiplash. But I don't know if they was.
You kept saying Whiplash.
I know, and then J.K. Simmons showed up in this movie. I'm like, okay, you're just fucking with me now.
Like, literally,
but
first
like
half of this
like
movie.
A cameo by.
J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, a cameo, and I'm just like, okay, now you're just fucking with me.
Like, here's the thing I find funny. Literally, like, while we're watching this movie, Jay's like, oh, this reminds me of Whiplash. This reminds me of Whiplash. I'm like, honey, I already understand you have a boner for Whiplash. We get it. And then all of a sudden, J.K. Simmons from said Whiplash is in it, and he's like, yay! And I'm like, oh my gosh, Jay.
I was more like, damn, I was proven correct. So I don't know. I kept on listening to it, and I was like, that sounds like the tempo from Whiplash, but I don't know if they used like a same jazz melody, like hundreds of other jazz melodies do, or if it's like a same beat. I have no idea. But I just kept thinking of those movies. I kept thinking of how Whiplash incorporated the music, and I consider it to be a semi-musical, even though it's instrumental music, because it still tells emotion through the music.
Which
so
I thought
still
did
count
good.
it. So I still count it. I keep thinking about kept thinking about Rocket Man, and how it did its fantasy music.
I did see elements of Rocket Man in this. I will agree with you on that.
I kept thinking about old school musicals, and how they would break into song.
Definitely.
Okay.
This had a lot of nostalgic beats for certain elements.
I'm this is just a movie for nostalgic people who remember classic Hollywood musicals. If you like that, that's fine. I would rather have it being told by an actual interesting story.
Yeah, I can understand that.
And it wasn't an interesting story to me. It just wasn't.
The story itself was a bit lacking, but I do like the way that they did the stage stuff for this. They went all out for the stage shit.
It was it's just the underbeat story with underbeat characters, underbeat romance, all that stuff. So I just did not feel much for it. I just sat there and I watched it, and I'm just like, okay.
It was way better in the beginning, but
no, I think I got more interesting as it went along. But by then, I was just halfway through the movie. I'm just like, I shouldn't be interested halfway through the movie. I shouldn't just be starting to get interested halfway through the movie.
It should have caught you instantly.
No, I'm not saying instantly either. I'm just saying it should build. It should build to semi-interesting to. I like this movie. That's how I like movies. I don't know. It didn't click. It didn't really click with me because I just don't think half of it worked. So.
And I can kind of understand your perspective on it. I understand
myself.
I will say this, though. Before, do you want to give our rating in a second? Since you feel like you keep repeating yourself? Okay. So, before we give our rating, personally, I think this movie has some okay points. It does lack in a lot of areas. It's kind of a mid movie, honestly. It's mid. I feel like they could have done a lot better with like the story and how they made the character, at least the two leads, interact. Other than that, like, it does have some good shots if you're looking for like more like cinematography and color shots and like just, I guess, composition. Mm-hmm. Is that the best way to put it?
I gotta look up the definition of composition.
But
that could mean a lot of things.
Okay, maybe stage direction. Is that a better word? Stage direction?
Sure.
If you like more stuff with like stage direction, like actually better way to put it. If you like this more for a technical aspect, I get that completely. I genuinely like this more for a technical aspect than the actual story. If you're a technical aspect, kind of girly or boy, I don't know what you identify as, or they, them, pretty much whatever you identify as. If you're into like the technical aspect kind of shit, you'll probably like this more. If you're into the story aspect, you might want to go somewhere else.
Okay.
Do you agree? Yes or no?
I agree.
All right. I'm going to give my rating first. So if I had to rate like the two things separately, if I had to rate the difference between the actual story and like the composition, actual story to me is probably like a 5. It's mid. It's like right in the middle. I'm like indifferent about it. If you're doing it to me through a technical aspect, that's probably like an 8 in my opinion, or like higher, like 8 or a 9. Mm-hmm. If you're just grading it on that alone. So, with the way that this is graded, in my opinion, the technical aspect would bring it a bit higher, but it would bring it a bit lower because of the story aspect. So for me, if I'm grading this thing as a whole instead of separately, this is probably a 6 for me. I would give it a 6. I think it's decent, yet at the same time, they really butchered some parts. So I would give it a 6. Okay. What would you give it?
Give it a 5.
You give it a 5?
I'm like teetering on the edge of 4, but I'll give it a 5.
All right. Would you recommend this to somebody? Because to me,
I don't know.
I would recommend it more if you like technical aspect stuff. If you're gonna just watch it for the story, I suggest not. But that's just me.
That's why I get into movies, because I want them to tell interesting stories with interesting characters. Like,
and I can understand.
I can get into the visual aspect a lot. And I can forgive a lot for visuals, but
this
it
really
didn't even
can't
have that great of visuals.
It had decent visuals.
It's alright.
Okay, so I give it a 6, you give it a 5.
Yeah.
Okay. So, before we end the podcast, I would like to say we did our first stream, which we were very happy to do. And we do plan on doing another stream very soon, probably this Friday. If you do plan on going to our streams, we do them on Tuesday nights and Friday nights around 10 to 10:30 at night, EST. Mm-hmm. If you guys are interested in watching and seeing what we do. Basically, you have to keep it on our other social medias to find out when we go live and stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, we do have a project in the works and stuff like that, so keep an eye out for that. Hopefully we can at least finish season 1 of that soon. And anyway, that's going to be the end of the podcast. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and as always, I'm Mari.
I'm Jay.
And we're out.